constant battle with my shit, so. Watch me play Final Fantasy VII 5 minutes at a time. Yes, take that, you bastard. We should have, like, fire too by now. So if you remember when we were fighting up on top of the tower in Midgar in the very beginning, that little boss battle, the guy with that little triangle or a pyramid around the characters, this is a very similar effect, only it drains life at the same time. Before, with the pyramid, you just had to attack the character and it would go away. This one, you specifically have to target the bubble. Oh, let's go ahead and just see if this is actually a pretty damaging attack. Oh, I guess not. Again. Oh, well, it's over. Why's it gotta be Cloud? And this really wasn't very necessary if you ask me. It's a stupid mini game, and it's you can't lose. Here we go. I don't. I know how to do CPR, and it's 2 short breaths. Because you don't want to pop their lungs. But there's no way to do any different. It doesn't really matter. She always wakes up. So why we're doing this, I have no idea. We could have just, I don't know, taken her back to her house. Just had her wake up. But no, we had to do a little mini game with it. I accept your mini game and I will win. It doesn't change anything. You don't get a different... Ah, there we go. She's awake. Okay, that was quick. Now... I'll go snooping around here. This... I guess this is... Oh, you know what? I didn't realize this. Being somebody that has a form of PTSD, when you're trying to recover, you talk to yourself a lot more. And when you're trying to associate what happened to you and figure out what went down, because when things are happening to you, you're not recording it, really. Your mind is recording it, and you're not really processing everything going on, you're just reacting to it. So, afterwards, your brain you don't really realize that you have experienced a form of trauma until much, much later. And for me, I do remember an alternate personality that it was me, but it also wasn't me. Like, I was in a daze, and then someone would just take over and say things that I had never thought about. And, it's just, in a way, it's you could say I'm just thinking, which, yeah, that makes sense. And I think all the time. But this was different. It was alien. And almost invasive. Like, it was somebody else possessing me. And I remember this somebody else communicating with another person before. And it was my abuser. No, I wouldn't really call her an abuser. She was just more of the trigger for me discovering that I had PTSD. I'm not saying she was a good person, but it took her behavior to get it out of me, to realize that I did have it. It was a part of me, but was never anybody that I could remember being. And when I got over it, my personality then and that personality kind of fused, and that's actually medical grade treatment for even schizophrenia. Multiple it's dissociative identity disorder, which is DID, which is also multiple personalities. And when you treat it and you get over it, you fuse those personalities together. That's the best way to do it. And now I understand the dream sequence later on in the game a lot more. Because Cloud is suffering from it. He doesn't realize it. He has intense memory loss of everything that's been happening to him. And it was 5 years ago. So 5 years of his life are just missing. So this voice that's speaking to him right now is another personality. It's his, in a way, I can say, the personality that I was speaking to was the logic center of my brain. It was piecing together puzzles I didn't know I was piecing together. And it was doing it automatically. It was my intelligence, or a person's intelligence, communicating. And I guess it had to go to that extreme of being another person in my brain for me to listen to it, I guess, because I was being played with, and it was hurting me mentally, which would eventually lead to maybe physically. That's what abuse is. Abuse is mental, or it's not always physical, there's mental abuse, and mental abuse can actually lead to, you know, self-harm and stuff, and, you know, even suicidal tendencies and behaviors. And just random tidbit, I just kind of realized that Cloud's talking to himself. Interesting. But I gotta obviously end this cast because I'm losing my signal. Random tidbit of information for you guys.